What's going on, family? The video we just dropped, 3 characteristics of a quality woman. So let's get a quick recap. The first one was saying that she walk in her divine feminine. Now, I want to hear from you. What does it mean to walk in the divine feminine to y'all? I have my idea, I have my studies, I have my school of thought. But I want to hear from you. When I say, does a woman walk in her divine feminine, what does that mean to you? Secondly, we talked about her being patient, not being impulsive, being able to be patient with the process, being able to work through processes, being able to be patient with development. Those things are really going to be critical for a quality woman. And the third one we mentioned, we talked about being able to be nurturing. The woman is going to be nurturing, caring. Those are some of the qualities of a divine feminine energy. So we want to be able to be with a woman who has these different qualities, because those things add to strong family structure. Those things add to strong village. Those things add to strong communities. And so I want to go into, again, some of the other characteristics that I believe make a quality woman, but I also want to hear from you. One of the things that I always notice whenever I'm dealing with a woman is a sense of humility. Now, I know the world has taken the word humble and humility and they turned it upside down because they don't understand what humility is in its right application. Humility isn't about thinking less of yourself or dimming your light. Humility is about understanding that there's a greater good. There's something, a bigger picture than just what you feel. So when we start talking about being humble or humility, is being able to see the importance in something bigger and greater than yourself, so that you can practice humility as that greater something around you is being built. And it doesn't have to be an eyes on me type of mentality. Oh, look what I can do, because we know that we're not building the I, we're building the us. And so humility is something that we all have to be able to practice. But it's always important when a woman is able to be humble because of the strength of her voice, the strength of her moves, the strength and her energy. Don't get me twisted. Don't get it twisted. A woman is very strong. The queen is the strongest piece on the board. So when we're looking at the qualities of a woman, these qualities women are going to aid in us building strong families, strong villages, strong communities. So one of the things I always look for is a woman able to be humble? You want to have a strong woman in the fact that she has a voice and knows when to speak up, but a humble woman when she knows when not to speak. And one of the most important things about knowing how to speak is knowing when not to speak. When sometimes you have to let the processes go through, you have to let things develop, you have to let things fall into place. I do believe in strong women because I came from strong women. I got 3 older sisters and a mother that I love and adore. But it's always something that when I look and see them, they know how to use their power. They know how to use their strength. And it's always been about being humble in the moment, understanding that I don't have to always be the spotlight. I don't always have to have my voice be the loudest one in the room. It's all about being able to know when and how to use your power. So humility is a big thing for a quality woman. You don't want someone that's going to be disruptive, or don't want someone that's going to disrupt the process of building. So for the men, make sure you look at that, because remember, where you put your seed at is just as important of the women who receive the seed. So those things are going to be the things that build familyhood, family structure, villages, communities. These are the things that we want to look for. Some of the other qualities of a good woman: emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is something that is very key. And I was talking to my mother not too long ago, and she said, well, when we was younger, we didn't have these terms. My mother from Harlem. She said, growing up in the hood, we didn't have these terms about emotional intelligence. We didn't have these different ideas. But we're living in a time right now where we have access to a lot more information. And so we want to break down these terms and be able to understand our emotions and break them down into rationalized thoughts. We want to be able to examine ourselves before we go out there and make impulsive actions and make impulsive decisions. And a lot of that deals with emotional intelligence. Not everything warrants a response. Not everything warrants a reaction. Sometimes you don't have to speak up or be loud in order to show that you're in the room, or to show or to voice your opinion, to show people how you feel about something. Emotional intelligence is simply being able to look at yourself, look at your own actions, look at your own feelings and thoughts, and decipher them for yourself before you make a response, and even if you don't respond at all. Sometimes the best response is no response, and that's a fact. But what I'm gonna tell you is this: for women, because they are so strong emotionally, because they carry such an energy, men, when you're talking to a woman, make sure you take note of her emotional intelligence. Make sure you take note about how patient she is, whether she's humble, does she walk in the divine feminine, does she walk with grace, does she move with grace? When y'all talking, is she nurturing? Is she breathing life into you? Now, you have the responsibility to do these things as well. But guess what? You have to be able to pick and identify a quality partner so that we can build family structure, build community, build nationhood. Okay? And one more that I'm gonna talk about in terms of a quality woman, and I think this one just popped in my head, and I promise you, this one goes both ways, but I might have forgot about it on the last one. But they always say, poor minds talk about people, good minds talk about events, and great minds talk about ideas. When we are speaking with our partners, when we are talking with our partners, what are we talking about? Now, a little gossip here and there, not gossiping about people, but you want to talk about, what happened during your day, or you want to talk about the events that took place. You want to talk about the things, just regular conversations with your partner. That's cool. That's great. You need that building. But when we start having conversations and we are talking about building for our families, building for our communities, building on our roles and responsibilities, you want to have a partner who has ideas, can critically think, can add value to the idea, can take away constructive criticism. We got to be able to have our partner with emotional intelligence, but intelligence itself. We got to be able to talk about things that are constructive instead of not gossiping. I can't even tell you how many women that I've dealt with where one of the biggest turn off I had was, you always gossiping. You always talking about what this person did or what that person did. And guess what? If you a man and you're gossiping, that's a terrible trait for a man. A man should not be gossiping. A man should not be sassy. A man should not be over here talking about what this person did and how this person looked nah, that's out. I'm not gonna hold you. So when you start talking about building quality relationships, building quality families, you got to start looking at some of these different, characteristics when you start picking your partner. So I appreciate that. And again, as always, I want to hear from you. Let me know how you felt about my list. Let me know about other lists that you have, and make sure they're not shallow, because I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to tell you if it's shallow or not. I don't care about what a car someone's driving. I don't care about how much money they have in their pocket, because truth be told, if you my partner, we're going to go get it together. Truth be told, if you my partner, we're going to build something that's going to give us all the resources. We're going to have all the abundance. We're going to have all the prosperity. So I'm not wondering about what you bring to the table in terms of material things. I want to know where your mind is at. I want to know where your heart is at. And I want to know where your spirit is at. Because if you got a good heart, spirit, and mind, the sky's the limit. We could build and we could gain with it, whatever for the both of us. So I definitely want to hear your opinion. I definitely want to hear what you believe makes up a good quality man and woman. So thank you for subscribing to the channel. Hope you're getting great content, great value from this. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep things rolling. And as always, remember, the future is ours.